Wouldn't it be great to have the confidence of Kanye West? No, I'm not talking about the outlandish takes, but I'm talking about the way in which he promotes himself, and nothing you can do can tear him down. Like his famous song, Can't Tell Me Nothing. That's exactly what Kanye is the best at. He has unbelievable self belief, and this is going to help you within your communication, getting girls, your network, your ability to be able to conversate and get your point across, your ability to handle rejection, handle any anxiety you have. It all comes down to this. Let's get crack and let's get absolutely. If I wasn't demonetized for playing his songs, I would absolutely play them. So, practice number one, mental model number one, you have to get really dialed in, is a Delulu reality. And what that's short for is delusional reality, is what the kids call Delulu. It's delusional. So, you have to cultivate a little bit more of, I say, believe in the Kanye reality. So, what that means is that you have to believe in a reality that is not actually present. So, your reality may be terrible. Your living situation may be terrible. Your communication may be terrible. You're sucking with girls. You're not invited to the coolest parties. You don't have the coolest friends. That is fine because that's your current reality. I want you to believe in a non-current reality, something that's not even materialistic. It's like, it's not even material. It's not physical is what I meant. It's not, this is part of atoms and electrons and neurons and stuff. You're going to have to believe in a reality that isn't even around you. 99% of the reality is going to tell you that's not possible. You have to think outways. So when I definitely improved my communication, improved my success with women, improved my networking, improved my social circle, the biggest thing that I did was thought, okay, what does the end result look like? What does the success look like? Okay, that's what the success looked like. And I held a picture. I almost could feel it. I almost could taste it. But I would get into a level of delusion where I wouldn't just think, okay, this is my vision board. What do I want for my life? No. I would put myself into the situations and I would pick out micro things where I would put myself in the situation. I'd be talking to some head of state. I'd be talking to a diplomat. I'd be talking to a rapper. And then I'd go down and I'd notice like a cockroach walking along the floor. I'd be eating dinner with a beautiful girl and she accidentally drops her fork and I pick it up and we pick it up at the same time and our hands touch. Like very minute details because I'm creating the reality. And what they say is that you have to visualize it in such clarity, like 99% clarity, like as if you're almost living there, as if you're almost there before it can ever become material, before it ever becomes real. So you have to live in this delusional state. So right in that, there's two different ways that you can do it. The Tyler Durden theory is the idea that you are now going to create like a carbon copy of yourself that's better than you in every single way. So this is kind of like the practical level. How do you visualize these things? Well, think about a guy exactly like you, just better than you in every single way. He is better with girls. He is better than networking. He is better at making money. He is better at athletics. He is better at walking and running and lifting weights and everything that you are. He's just better. So instead of competing against your competitors, you're competing against the Tyler Durden version of you. That's going to be really, really important because it goes back to the third one that we didn't cover. God tests you before he gives it to you. So just like in school, it's a little bit different. In school, they would give you all the lessons. Here's this, Johnny, how we do 5 plus 5 and, Shakespeare and Pythagoras theorem. And then you get to the test and you got to remember everything. Well, life doesn't work like that. And this is why your confidence levels gets a little bit affected because you think that life works like that after school, but it doesn't work like that. How it actually works is that it gives you the test straight away. With not that you don't think you're going to be prepared, you don't think you're going to do well. But here's the funny thing. Once you either pass or fail that test, you're going to learn either way. You're going to learn, and usually you fail the test first and foremost, and then you're going to learn what you did wrong, how to improve on it. That's kind of the fundamental element of confidence. You have to understand that you have to be very, very good. And the way you get that is through repetition. How do you get good at girls? How do you think I got good at girls? A lot of rejection, a lot of going up and talking to girls. How do you think I went really, really well with social circle? Again, a lot of parties that failed, a lot of networking that failed. And then you get to see, oh, this is how you do it. So you won't reach your goals unless you've gone through kind of like the levels, and God will test you all the way along. Okay, number 2. Now, I hope you're here. I hope you're practicing. I hope you're aware. I hope your eyes are. I don't know what you're practicing, but I hope your eyes are open right now, because number two is everyone's out to get you. So what this means is life ain't going to help you with your confidence. Life is going to beat you down every single time. You have to protect your goals at all costs. Protect them. Now, this is from everybody. You think that people are on your side, they're not. You think your friends actually want you to succeed. They want you to succeed, but just not as much as them. Your mom and dad doesn't want you to succeed, because then you might not even call them. You might not even see them. So, you have to, you're the only one that can actually deal with your confidence issues, that can actually build your own confidence. I'm going to tell you exactly how, so stay tuned. So you have to protect your goals at all costs. So people are going to give you some shit. People are going to tell you, just be like, oh man, well, you suck at that, or you did this, you did that, well, you will never do that. Come on, man, what, you think you're actually going to, this is this is basically God testing you. When people are not on your side, there's two ways that you can handle it. Number one, you can agree with them, being like, yeah, okay, yeah, I guess you're right, yeah, I do suck. Or you can actually, it fires you up. So you're like, oh, now I have someone against me, I'm gonna prove them wrong. This is gonna be so sweet. That helps a lot of the time. When someone does go against you, that really does help you with succeeding against your goals, because now there's just like this internal fire. And definitely you will find that you can use internal fires. You can kind of dramatize some events in your life, and it really stokes that fire. I know for me, high school was a big one, and high school was bad, but it wasn't, as, I wouldn't say it's terrible looking back, but it really stirred a fire, which I'm like, I'm going to show these guys, I'm going to prove them wrong, I'm going to prove that they bullied the wrong person, and I'm going to be a superstar. And that's really lit my fire. So that's because I kind of protected that goal at all costs. The second thing you have to do is small wins. If you are not seeing your progress, you are failing. So when I have guys in social life mentoring that come in, one of the first rules they learn is that every time they socially interact with someone, they must write down what they did well, what they didn't do well, and how they're going to improve on the things they didn't do well. This is the way that you can track your progress and have small wins. See, last week I couldn't hold eye contact. This week my eye contact was perfect. It was amazing. I just did the drills and my eye contact got 10 times better. Boom. This is what keeps you going. This is what gets the motivation, because if you're going for that end goal, it's really hard to keep the motivation, because you don't know if you're getting better or not. Exponential growth happens where it's like nothing, 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 bang. So over those nothing periods, you have to really kind of get a microscope on, am I getting better? Now, the reason why you're doing that is because you need those small wins to build that confidence. If you are in an upward momentum, upward spiral, that is going to get you confident, because now you feel the emotions of getting better. You're in that winner effect. Great book called The Winner Effect. You should read that. I definitely recommend it. Now, you're going in an upward spiral, and you're not feeling as if you're going in a negative spiral when you're not seeing that much progress. That's because you're doing really, really finite small wins, and you're seeing you actually are progressing. It's just really, really small. Now, the last one in practice number 2 is that whenever you try something, whenever you're trying new things to get better, you have to risk being the fool. This is what a lot of guys don't do. They don't risk to being fool. They don't go up and talk to that girl. They don't use that opening line. They don't, go up to a girl and completely not have a line. They don't host events. They don't go up and introduce themselves when they meet someone else. They don't organize anything. They're sitting in the back waiting for everyone to do it for them. They're not being initiators. They're going up and they're not trying new things in their conversations because they don't want to be a fool. You really have to risk being the fool, because a lot of the time you think it does a lot more reputational damage than it does, but it doesn't. And you're so scared to even push the boundaries. The only way you're going to get forward momentum, forward progress, that upward spiral, is by trying new things and seeing what work and what don't, and keeping what actually works. The third one, the cookie jar. Now, this is famous from your David Goggins. This is very, very famous, but I look at it a little bit differently. Start looking at your fears as challenges, knocking all of your fears out. So I'll give you a great example. When I was this year, one of my fears was, I had 2 fears, and I told the guys in SLM, Social Life Mentoring, about them. And the number one was going overseas and running out of money. It's my first option. I was like, I don't know what it costs. It's been COVID. I haven't been able to go to America in a long time. I don't know if I'm going to lose all my money, right? That was a fear. It was a genuine fear. And lo and behold, I didn't lose all my money, and I was like, oh, thank Christ, thank you. And then I actually went overseas again very shortly after because I hit that first goal and I kind of crushed it. Now, your mind is always going to have fears. It's always going to come up with new fears because you're testing the boundaries. You're testing, as I said, you're risking being the fool. It doesn't want to be that fool. It doesn't want to test itself. It wants to sit in the comfort, the comfort, the comfort, the comfort. You have to make sure you don't sit in the comfort. You have to get out of there. And so your fears are going to be the ones that actually is kind of like the compass, like Jack Sparrow. What do I have? Like a compass here? Yeah, I got a compass. Like that's your compass and it's pointing north. It's your fears. When guys start, might be talking to a girl. When guys start, it might be, oh, I want to host an event. I want to be able to, meet some people, invite them. Maybe it might be asking for an Instagram, maybe asking for a number, maybe talking to that guy. Maybe your friend doesn't introduce you and you've never introduced yourself to someone you don't know. And all these, this is your compass. Okay. The second story I want to give you is I had like not an accident. When I was in England once a long time ago, I went mountain skateboarding on the White Cliffs of Dover. And I was about 14, jumped off, couldn't stop. If you know mountain boards, they don't actually have a brake. And jumped on a rock and hurt my ribs. So I've always had this fear of having my feet trapped in something. So this year I thought, on a whim, my friends called me up, Sam, you want to go snowboarding? I said, yes, absolutely. Before I even had a chance at saying no, I was like, yes, I'm there. Because I knew that this was life presenting the challenge. You don't always get offered to go snowboarding. Even when I get down there, the instructor's like, oh, what do you want, snowboard or skiing? And I'm like, snowboarding. And I yelled it at him because I didn't want to give myself an opportunity to say skiing because, they were saying skiing's easier. So when I'm on there and I'm like, oh crap, I'm here, I'm facing the challenge. Everything's happening to me. I still fear the same fears and anxiety that you guys feel. I just know, okay, this is good. I'm about to change my life in one way or another. This is good. I'm living at the edge of life. So when you're doing this, what's happening to your confidence is that it says in the next one that I'll just move myself politely right here. Understanding your confidence will drop from time to time, which is okay. These challenges are a way to almost like kickstart it because, again, a lot of the time your fears, when you conquer them, you feel invincible. You feel exhilarated. You feel this next level of confidence you've never felt before. And so sometimes when I will have ups and downs in my confidence, I will reignite it with these fear, being like, what am I fearing? What am I holding myself back? And sometimes they're very intricate that only you know. It would be, snowboarding is such a weird one. Like, of course, people are nervous, but I was so nervous from an event that happened 14 years previous. And I was like, no one knew that. But it had been there for 14 years. And I thought, this is the time. And now for me, my whole TikTok is like snowboarding this, snowboarding that. I love it. Can't wait to go back. So, yeah, do look at your fears as kind of like that North Star. Now, the last one, as I said, your confidence go up and down. You need a system to pick yourself back up. My system is those fears. Your system could be something else. You got to figure out what lifts your confidence. Maybe trying something new. Maybe going back to something old that you're good at. Is something like, if you're really good at tennis or you're really good at sport or maybe chess or poker or whatever it is, go back to something. That may be your trigger. For me, it's always conquering a fear. Now, the last one. This is going to be interesting, and this is something I preach a lot, which is you have to be your harshest critic on yourself, but your biggest cheerleader. A lot of people are their harshest critic on themselves and not their biggest cheerleader. So the way that you have to do it is you have to start doing stuff to gain your own respect. How is anyone going to respect you if you're constantly disrespecting yourself? Your weight, your time, your energy, your effort. Here's the thing. If you're trying to put up a boundary in a relationship, good luck trying to do that when you're disrespecting your own time. And what you notice if you really respect your time, you're really looking after una and uma, number one, you're really on your purpose, on your absolute, like, just everything is working consistently, you can't help but be confident because you know that you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. The reason why you're not confident is that you're doing things in your life that you know you're not supposed to be doing. That's why you're not confident. And as I said, even when you're going to have ups and downs, lulls, even if you are doing everything confident, then you have to be doing a couple of the other things that I talked about. Challenge your fears, not, actually risking being a fool. This is the formula, right? This is the 4-step method. This is how Kanye does it, right? He does risk being a fool by changing new music. He does challenge his fears and challenge things and challenge the traumas with the music. He does talk about the things that he wants. He is very open, right? And so the next thing is that if you want to get good if you want to get good at things, try new things to get good at being good at new things. A tongue twister. Try new things to get good at being good at new things. So you have to try a lot of stuff. Now, if you're not good at trying new things, you're being a fool. You got to try a bunch so you can get used to it. Like, again, I remember back in the day, someone would be telling me something and I would be so fixated on like the actions of like, their wrist. Okay, they did this, it'd be like a tennis thing, or it'd be a golf thing, or it would be a different sport, or something. I would watch everything they would be doing, and what I realized is that that was a completely different way. I just have to watch them and observe them and try not to think too much, because I got good at learning to get good at new things. Before, I wasn't good. I was only trying one or two things a year, and I wasn't risking being a fool or anything. But when I started to do that, and I started to go, be a pretty girl, and be like, okay, well, I know my opener. I don't want to deviate from my opener because it's worked every single time. And I go up and it doesn't work. And I'm like, oh, man, it must be the way that I'm doing this or that. Or it's my opener. Let me do the same opener, same opener. It's like, you need to expand. If you want to get good at everything, you need to get good at trying new things. And then you'll get better at being good at new things. And then the more things that you're good at, the more confidence you're going to have that any sort of unknown experience that comes at you, you will be able to not only pivot, but be able to quickly learn what this new set of environments or set of circumstances, scenario. And so this is really good with your communication. And so that is really the essence of how confidence is built. Not only doing a thing a lot, practice, 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 but also all these things of challenging your fears, excuse me, trying new things, risking being a fool, things like creating a delusional reality of where you want to be, protecting your goals at all costs, because people are going to be attacking you left and right. People don't want you to be arrogant. Look, think of the word arrogance or overconfident. They don't want you to be that. They castrate you, they put you down as much as possible. And again, heck, you have to have the like shield that and again, through all these experiences, especially the fears, you'll learn who you are. And sometimes maybe you aren't who you think you are. And so, again, you have to do some stuff to gain your own respect. Lastly, summary, be like Kanye. Try different things. Explore. Sam here. Arrivederci.